Hi dear students, welcome back to online physics classes for class 11 students. Let us continue chapter 2, that is units and measurement. In the previous classes we studied how to measure length. What are the two types of measuring the length and what are the three methods in indirect method to measure the length. We studied in detail about parallax method, echo method and triangulation method in the previous classes. Today I am going to teach measurement of mass. How to measure mass, what is mass, so that we can study in detail in today's session. So before going to study about measurement of mass, first we have to know what is mass. See here, mass is the amount of matter. The amount of matter is itself mass. What is mass? The amount of matter contained in a body is called mass. So what do you mean by matter? What is matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and have mass. We can call it as matter. If I am going to consider any object, if this object is occupying certain space and having certain mass, then we can call it as matter. Matter contains atoms, atoms contains protons, electrons, neutrons. So here the amount of matter we can call it as mass. Is it clear what is mass? The amount of matter contained in a body is called mass. Now we can observe the characteristics of mass. So I had given the 5 important characteristics of mass. You can observe the first characteristic, that is mass is an essential property of matter. So for matter, mass is very essential, because if I am going to consider an object, when we kept on the earth surface, that object will occupy certain space. If it occupies certain space on this earth surface, then it should have certain mass, because it is just the collection of the particles. Is it clear? So, mass is an essential property of matter. So, why it is essential property of matter? Because we know the definition of matter. Matter is anything that occupies space and have mass. For example, if I am going to consider a chair, that chair occupies certain space and it is having certain mass, that is a matter. Anything you can consider, if it is having certain mass, if it occupies a certain space, then we can call it as matter. So what is the first property? Mass is an essential property of matter. Come to the second characteristics of mass, that is mass is a constant quantity. If I am going to measure mass of an object, for example, let us consider now this is having mass 5 kg. So this mass of the object always remain constant. The value of mass is not depending on any position, direction, temperature, pressure, anything. It is always constant. It never changes. It is not a variable quantity. Mass is a constant quantity. Then come to the third one. Mass cannot be zero. Mass cannot be zero. Suppose if mass m equal to 0, then there is no object. If there is an object, if there is a matter, then it should have certain mass. That may be very less or that may be greater. But if there is an object, it should have certain mass. That's why mass cannot be zero. If mass equal to 0, then there is no matter. Then come to the fourth characteristic. Mass is a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity in detail you are going to study in the chapter motion in a plane. That is chapter 4. Scalar quantity, that means the quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. What do you mean by scalar quantity? The quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. This is called scalar quantity. What is scalar quantity? The quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. For example, I can say time. Time is a scalar quantity because when we are talking about time, we are going to express only in terms of number. 9 a.m., 10 p.m. So, the time we are going to express only in terms of number. That is, it is having only magnitude, whether the time is having any direction. If I changed my direction to northward, whether the time changes? No. So time is always constant and it is a scalar quantity. Likewise, mass is a scalar quantity because the object may be on the earth surface or the object may be in the space or object may be at the top of the building, wherever, but mass is always constant and we are going to express mass only in terms of numbers. For example, mass equal to 5 kg. 5 is what? Magnitude, number or numerical value. Mass is expressed only in terms of numbers. Whether the mass is having any direction? No. You can keep the object in any direction. The mass is always constant. It is not having any direction. So that's why mass is a scalar quantity. What do you mean by scalar quantity? The quantity which is having only magnitude but no direction. Then come to the last characteristics of mass. That is, mass does not depend on shape, size, temperature, pressure and location of object in the space. So here mass is always constant. That means it is not depending on any physical quantities, just like you can take a shape, size, temperature, pressure or location of the object in the space. If you are going to keep object in the space, then it is always having same mass. Its mass never changes, whatever may be its location, whatever may be its shape or size or temperature or pressure, but mass is always constant. It is not depending on any physical conditions. So these are the 5 characteristics of mass. Is what is mass? The amount of matter contained in a body is called mass. And the 5 characteristics of mass are: first one, mass is an essential property of matter because matter is anything that occupies space and have mass. If there is a matter, then there should be a mass. Second one, mass is a constant quantity. Mass is not variable. It is not depending on any gravitational force also. It is always constant. Then third one, mass cannot be zero. Suppose mass is zero, then there is no object, there is no particle, there is no matter. So that's why mass cannot be zero. Then fourth one, mass is a scalar quantity because mass is having only magnitude but no direction. Then last characteristic, mass does not depend on shape, size, temperature, pressure as well as location of the object in the space. So these are the 5 characteristics of mass. Now to measure mass, again we have 2 types. There are 2 types of masses. The first one is inertial mass and the second one is gravitational mass. What are the 2 types of masses? Inertial mass and gravitational mass. What do you mean by inertial, or we can call it as inertia? You studied about inertia in 8th standard. You can remember Newton's laws of motion. There, Newton's first law of motion is also called as law of inertia. Inertia, in Kannada we can call it as Jadatva. You can remember this word? Inertia. This is Newton's first law of motion. Yes, can you remember the definition of inertia? Yes, inertia is the opposition offered by an object to change its state of rest or uniform motion or direction. So what is inertia? For example, if I am going to consider a book on the table, let us imagine this book is kept on the table. Now the book is at rest. It is at rest, it is kept on the table. So now I want to change its position. If you want to change its position, what you can do? Whether the book is itself starts to move from point A to point B? No, we should apply the force to move the book. If applied force is 0, if I am not going to apply any force, then book is always at rest. That means this book is opposing to change its position until the force is applied. Is it clear? When we applied force, then only its position changes. Otherwise, the book should be remain in its initial position. Another example, if a car is moving on the road. The car is moving on the road. If you want to stop that moving car, what we can do? If you want to stop the moving car, then we have to apply the brakes. Without applying opposing force to the car, then car will not come to rest. So this is what inertia. Inertia is the opposition. This opposition is offered by an object to change its state of rest or uniform motion. This is called inertia. Yes, what is inertia? The opposition offered by an object to change its state of rest or uniform motion. If you applied force, then only its state changes. That may be rest to motion or motion to rest or direction. So, anyhow, this opposition offered by the object to change the state of rest or uniform motion is called inertia. You already studied in 8th standard. Again, you are going to study in PUC first year in the chapter laws of motion. In the chapter laws of motion, in detail, you are going to study about inertia. That is Newton's first law of motion. So now you can concentrate only on the types of masses. What are the two types of masses? Inertial mass and gravitational mass. What do you mean by gravitational force? The force which attracts the two bodies, gravitational force. You already know the acceleration due to gravity, that is G equal to how much? 9.8 meter per second square. This is acceleration due to gravity. We can take it as a small g. So these are the two types of masses. Which are the two types of masses? Inertial mass and gravitational mass. Now we can study in detail about each one of them. The first one is inertial mass. The mass of a body defined on the property of inertia. The mass of a body, if it is defined based on the property of inertia, then we can call it as inertial mass. What do you mean by property of inertia? Property of inertia means we can go to the Newton's laws of motion. Newton's laws of motion, there you have studied in Newton's second law of motion, we have the equation F equal to ma. You studied this equation in Newton's second law of motion. So F equal to ma. F indicates applied force. What is F? F is applied force. M indicates mass of an object and A is acceleration. Right? F equal to ma. The mass of a body defined on the property of inertia. If mass of a body is defined based on this second law of motion, then we can call it as inertial mass. Right? So F indicates applied force, M is mass of a body, A indicates acceleration. What is acceleration? The rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Right? Now, if F is the force applied on a body and A is the acceleration produced, then inertial mass m1 is given by, we have the equation F equal to ma. Here mass is given as m1. So we want inertial mass. So this equation can be written as m1 equal to, when A is taken to LHS side, it will go to denominator. So the equation becomes F divided by A. M1 equal to F divided by A. This is inertial mass. This is completely based on how much force is required to move the object. Depends on force and acceleration, we can measure mass of a body. We are going to call it as inertial mass. Yes, what is inertial mass? Mass of a body defined on the property of inertia. And its equation is m1 equal to F divided by A. That means inertial mass is completely depending on the applied force and its acceleration. Now come to the second one, gravitational mass. The mass of a body defined on the property of gravity is called gravitational mass. If mass of a body is defined based on property of gravity, property of gravity means we can take about gravitational force. When we throw anything in the upward direction, if I am going to throw a ball in upward direction in the space, that ball again it will come downward. It is all because of what? Gravitational force. Right? So suppose the mass of a body is defined based on property of gravity, then we can call it as gravitational force. Here you can remember the equation W equal to M into G. You can remember this equation whenever you are going to talk about gravitational mass. Here what is W? W indicates weight, M indicates mass, G indicates acceleration due to gravity. Remember, weight and mass both are not same. Both are completely different. Weight is always depending on acceleration due to gravity, that is gravitational force. According to gravitational force, the weight of a person, weight of an object go on changes. But the mass is always constant. It is a constant quantity. Right? So this equation we can use here, W equal to M into G. Here we are going to define mass based on property of gravity. If W is weight of a body, G is acceleration due to gravity, then gravitational mass we can take it as mg. Gravitational mass mg equal to, we have the equation W equal to mg into G. We want gravitational mass mg equal to W divided by G. This is an equation for gravitational mass. Is it clear? So there are two types of masses. First one is inertial mass. Second one is gravitational mass. Inertial mass depends on applied force and acceleration, where we are using Newton's laws of motion. And the second one is gravitational mass. Here we are going to define mass depending on the property of gravity or gravitational force, and which is given by the equation mg equal to W divided by G. From this equation we can find mass of a body. Here the mass is depending on weight and acceleration due to gravity. So these are the two types of masses. Then the unit of mass. Mass can be measured in terms of gram, pounds, kg, AMU. There are so many different types of units to measure mass. But the SI unit of mass is very important. The SI unit of mass is kilogram, or in short the symbol is kg. Kg or kilogram is the SI unit of mass. And the second one is atomic mass unit. In short we can call it as AMU. Atomic mass unit. In chemistry most of the time you are using AMU. In chemistry, most of the time you are using the second unit, that is atomic mass unit. So this unit is used to measure atomic or nuclear masses. So 1 atomic unit or 1 AMU. 1 AMU is equal to, this is 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon 12. That is 1 AMU equal to 1/12 of mass of one atom of carbon 12. This gives 1 AMU. So 1 AMU equal to what? Atomic mass unit is defined as 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon 12. That gives 1 AMU. In detail you are going to study in chemistry. Anyhow, the two important units of mass are, in SI we are using kg and other one is AMU, that is atomic mass unit. Now measurement of mass. So in inertial mass we are using inertial balance. You can observe this picture here. So this instrument is called inertial balance. Inertial mass of a body is measured by an inertial balance. So this picture gives inertial balance. Using this inertial balance, you can find inertial mass of a body. You can observe this inertial balance here. The red inertial balance, which is clamped to our laboratory table. Here, this part. This is clamped to the lab table. And the photo gate clamped to the pole. We placed the mass on the center of the tray. You can observe this is the mass we kept on the tray. Now note that this photo gate was placed too close to the tray. So this photo gate was placed too close to the tray. So during this experiment we are using a strip of paper attached to the tray. Anyhow, this inertial balance was used to find inertial mass of a body. Then, similarly, gravitational mass of a body is measured by spring balance. Here there is a spring. To this hook or hanger, we are going to add the weights so that the spring will be extended. So then we can take down the readings. So using this spring balance easily we can find gravitational mass of a body. Inertial mass is measured by inertial balance. Gravitational mass is measured by spring balance. At last you can observe the range of masses. The mass of the objects vary over a wide range. The order of the mass of the electron is 10 raised to minus 30 kg. It is the very smallest particle, that is micro, 10 raised to minus 30 kg. And the order of the mass of universe is how much? 10 raised to 55 kg. It is having a very wide range from micro to macro. From electron to universe. This is not election, this is electron. Mass of the electron is in terms of 10 raised to minus 30 kg and mass of the universe is nearly 10 raised to 55 kg. So that's why the mass of the object, it is having a very wide range. from micro to macro. So this is all about measurement of mass. What is mass? The amount of matter contained in a body is called mass. Two types of masses are inertial mass and gravitational mass. Inertial, that means the opposition offered by a body to change its state of rest or uniform motion. That is Newton's first law of motion. Again, you are going to study in the chapter laws of motion. And the second one is gravitational mass. Here the mass is defined basically on the property of gravity. Here we are going to consider gravitational force and we use the equation W equal to mg. In the inertial mass we used F equal to ma, but here in gravitational mass we use W equal to mg. We have the separate equation for two types of masses. After that we studied the equipment or the instrument. Which instrument is used to measure inertial as well as gravitational mass? Inertial mass is measured with the help of a inertial balance. Gravitational mass is measured with the help of a spring balance. And the mass is having a wide range from micro to macro, from electron to universe. 10 raised to minus 30 kg to 10 raised to plus 55 kg. It is having a wide range. So this is all about measurement of mass. In the next class, we can start measurement of time. Thank you.